Welcome to Chalk Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the topics that matter most to family-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, and anyone navigating the complex world of business leadership. I'm Tiffani Carter, and I'm here with Rory Sheppard, and we are excited to bring you insights, strategies, and discussions that reflect the very essence of what we do here at ActionCOACH of West Texas. Welcome, Rory. What's our topic today?
Today, we're going to talk about overcoming self-sabotage.
I love it. I actually was talking to a business owner last week and I said, right, getting out, it sounds like you got out of your own way. And she goes, I still don't understand that phrase. I'm like, overcoming self-sabotage. She goes, okay, got it. Same thing.
Yep.
My mind, your mind is our best friend, but it also can be our worst enemy.
Yeah. So, a strength overdone or we talk about a fear. So, fear is probably the number one thing that causes self-sabotage. So we use a definition with fear of false expectations appearing real. So we treat fear as an acronym. Do FEAR, false expectations appearing real. But how often do we fear some action, some activity, some future something that prevents us from taking action? And so we self-sabotage ourselves to take no action, right? And so we just stop. And sometimes we'll talk about that fear being fear of failure, but it can be almost anything that is a fear. And so we love a book by Sheppard. The name of the book is called Positive Intelligence, but he lays out a number of different ways that we sabotage ourselves. And he uses the, kind of the basis that you started with, which is in most cases, the driver of our sabotage is really a strength of ours. It's some mechanism that we've used to protect ourselves over time, but we've gotten so ingrained with it and so connected to it that it prevents us from acting. And so would love to kind of run through a couple of examples on that. And in one saboteur in his kind of language in the book is the judge. And so we always set in judgment of ourselves, others, or our circumstances. And that's universal for all of us. And so we'll either, make a comment about how stupid I am or how stupid somebody else is, or how, these circumstances, it's just not fair. And so we set in judgment and say that activity or that person or even myself prevented me from doing what I wanted to do, when in most cases we should turn that it's not 180 degrees every time. It may just be, 90 degrees or even 45 degrees, and just say, is there a different way to think about that action that I just took, or the action that somebody else took, or the circumstances I'm in right now? And how do I make, lemonade out of the lemons that I've been out, right? And so treating it in that way and just saying, don't allow myself to stop action, but how do I move forward now that this is where I am today?
Love it. Love it. And we experience that all day, every day, especially, right? The negative self-talk to self, or you talk to someone and it's always about their circumstance.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that, right? I mean, one that really plays heavy on that circumstance, another saboteur from the Positive Intelligence book would be the victim, right? So that I'm always the victim of the circumstance. And so I prevent myself from acting, because even before I become a victim, I've already become the victim, and say, this is not going to work out. Something bad is going to happen. It never works out for me. And so I don't take action. That would be one kind of in that space. Another one that I think a lot of business owners might have, entrepreneurs, highly driven, could be that hyperachiever. So, in conjunction. So in the book from Sheppard, he talks about everybody has a judge, and then that judge works in concert or kind of in as a cohort to some accomplished saboteurs. And so if you think about me as a hyperachiever and saying that I want to achieve great things, I set crazy lofty goals. Everything's got to go my way. But then when I couple that with the judge, when things don't go my way, I start being critical of myself and become hypercritical in that space. And so then I stop acting or prevent action because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Another could be, and I think we see this again with a lot of business owners, would be that that super high on the stickler side of everything needs to go exactly, in a process, in a fashion, the way I want to do it. And so that might be preventing me from delegating work to others, because I get hung up or get stuck on this idea that if it's not done exactly the way I want it done, then I can't delegate it, right? I'll just do it myself. And so that stickler could prevent me from delegating and could prevent me from growing as an organization.
Right. And I would say even prevent some business owner entrepreneurs from having team members make it better, make it even better, right? Because I'm a stickler for it being done my way.
Yep.
We've heard forever, right? My way or the highway.
Yeah. How many times?
Not always the best environment for a team.
Yeah. And that could get you in trouble, right?
Right.
We've talked. Yeah, we talked for years about some of the best ideas, some of the best innovations don't come from the CEO or from the leader. They're going to come from the people on the front line, the people doing the work, the people experiencing it today. I have a viewpoint and an image of the way it's supposed to work based on how it worked 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way it works today. And so I need to be willing to listen, interact, get input from the people that are doing the work today. And so that stickler can prevent us from taking the appropriate action. Yeah. So we went through a handful, but I think, Positive Intelligence is the book. Shirzad Chamine is the author. Lots of research-based kind of detailed data that's in that book, but it can be life-changing for you if you say, I need to be more positive. I need to use those voices of the saboteurs to give me a warning, to say I'm getting close to some danger, but not dwelling on that or stopping there, but continuing to move forward, but going similar to the hot stove. Put your hand on the hot stove.
Right.
When you feel it, you take your hand off. And so the same thing with these accomplished saboteurs or that judge, to say, when I feel that heat, I go, okay, that's a warning sign. I need to change my actions just a little bit, but it doesn't mean I have to stop.
I love it. And we have a program for that. A lot of times it's the accountability. I just need some accountability to someone to improve in those areas. So we do have that available to you. So
yeah, so there is a positive intelligence process that you can go through. It's a 6 weeks in a cohort with other business leaders, business owners, where you get some, no kidding, great insight into those saboteurs of your own, but also get that accountability on a weekly basis on how you can grow as an individual.
Right. I love it. Well, we could talk about this all day, but we are out of time. So we want to hear from you. If you have a burning question or a topic you'd like us to explore, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Your insights and challenges are what drive this podcast. And we'll see you next time on Chalk Talk.
And remember, only action gets you closer to your dreams. So do something today that your future self will thank you for.